Turn on a tap. In less than a second, water appears. It feels as if it has been waiting right there the whole time. But the water in this glass did not begin at the tap. Before it reached your hand, it crossed a hidden system that can stretch across an entire city. It passed a source, an intake, a treatment plant, storage, pressure control, and a branching network of pipes. Routes differ, but in many cities, this basic journey is happening behind the scenes. Today, we are going to follow one drop of water all the way back to where its journey began. The beginning of tap water is not the tap. For many cities, it begins in a river or reservoir. Other systems use groundwater, desalinated water, or recycled water. This episode follows surface water. At this point, it is still raw water. It may be cloudy, carry suspended sediment, and contain microorganisms or other material too small for us to see. Clear-looking water is not automatically safe water. The first challenge is getting water out of the source. An intake structure draws it in, and powerful pumps begin moving it towards a treatment plant. In a large system, raw water may travel through canals or transmission mains for tens of kilometers before treatment even begins. Before cleaning begins, pumps, channels, gates, and operators are already keeping the journey moving. When the raw water reaches the plant, the real transformation begins. Different plants use different treatment trains, depending on the water they receive. But a common surface water process can be understood in 4 stages. First, a coagulant is added, and the water is gently mixed. Tiny particles that were scattered through the water begin binding together into larger, heavier clumps called floc. Second, the flow slows down. The heavy floc settles to the bottom, while the clear water above moves on. Third, the water passes through filters. Layers such as sand, gravel, or other filter media catch particles and microorganisms that remain. Fourth comes disinfection. A disinfectant, often chlorine-based, inactivates harmful germs that are too small to see. In systems that use chlorine or chloramine, a carefully controlled residual may remain in the water to help protect it as it travels through the pipe network. No single step does everything. The barriers work together. Stage by stage, cloudy raw water becomes finished water that is ready to enter the distribution system and meet local drinking water standards. Even after treatment, the water may not go straight to your home. Many systems send finished water into a clear water reservoir or storage tank first. That storage acts like a buffer. Water demand does not stay constant all day. It can rise sharply when a neighborhood wakes up, when people shower, cook, wash dishes, or return home at the same time. The tank absorbs those surges, helping the system meet peak demand while keeping supply steady. From storage, pumps, and elevated tanks help drive water into the main distribution pipes beneath the streets. Pressure is what keeps the water moving across long distances, into homes, and, with local or building pumps where needed, towards higher floors. But pressure has a second job. A drinking water network is designed to stay full and under positive pressure. If pressure becomes too low or turns negative, water from outside the pipe may be drawn in through a leak, a damaged joint, or an unsafe cross-connection. So pressure is not only about convenience. Maintaining it is part of protecting the water during the final stretch of the journey. The largest mains divide into smaller distribution pipes. Those pipes divide again into service lines, like branches spreading through a city. One service line reaches your building, passes a meter, enters the property's plumbing, and ends at the tap you opened a moment ago. The last few meters are only the final branch of a network that began far beyond your home. You can drink one glass of water in a few seconds, but before it reached you, that water may have spent hours moving through a much larger system. It began at a source. It was drawn through an intake and may have traveled tens of kilometers before reaching a plant. It passed multiple treatment barriers, moved into storage, and entered a pressurized network beneath the city. Main by main, branch by branch, it traveled all the way to your tap. And the journey was never automatic. Operators, pumps, tanks, valves, and kilometers of pipe all had to keep working together. To us, the result feels instant. But the water was not simply waiting at the tap. An entire system was waiting behind it. That is what makes one ordinary glass of water the endpoint of something much larger than it looks. An everyday thing that becomes extraordinary the moment we follow where it came from.